Hey guys, it's decision day. Decision day, decision day. So I am here to share with you my options for making my corduroy skirt and the pattern I chose to use to make my corduroy skirt. Now I will tell you first that I showed you all 3 options in one of my previous videos. I did add one extra pattern to that lineup and I'll explain to you why. So basically my decision was based on the number of pieces to the fabric or to the pattern, the notions involved, whether or not I had them on in my stash already, or if I need to go out and purchase more. But then I also factored in just the overall measurements based off my body measurements and what I know the finished garment measurements will be when I make the skirt. So when I did my measurements this evening, my waist measured at a 43 and my hips measured at a 48. So based off those measurements, I was able to better assess and try to narrow down which patterns I wanted to use to make my corduroy skirt. So here it goes. First choice was New Look 6544. And that's this pattern here. Okay. So this pattern, I was thinking about doing view C. And the notions involved in this pattern are 1 7-inch zipper, 1 hook and eye, some twill tape, some hem tape, and fusible interface. This pattern calls for 8 pieces. It does include some darts, and the finished garment measurements, once I took a look at the back of the envelope, looks like it will give me 1-inch ease overall. So the biggest measurement on here in terms of the garment measurements, the biggest measurement is a 49. So that would give me 1 inch of ease in the hip area. I don't think that would be enough, but I'm not quite sure. But the length on this skirt was perfect. The length was actually a 39. I don't know if I'll make it that long, but the length of this skirt would be a 39 based off my my garment measurements. All right, the second pattern I thought about was M8068. It's a McCall's pattern and it's here. So looking at this pattern, I was considering doing view B, which is basically it's this this view here, and it is a longer view. I think this may actually be view A. I'm not sure because hers looks a little short. View B looks to be a little bit longer, so I'm thinking view B. This pattern here requires 1 7-inch zipper, 1 hook and eye, and sew-in interface, which I do not have. It does call for 8 pieces, and the finished garment measurements on this pattern here would give me 1 to 4 inches of ease based off my range being in between the 2 biggest sizes, which is the 49 hip or the 53 hip in the finished garment measurement. So the length on this pattern for view B is actually 23 inches, which is kind of right where I want it to be in terms of the length. So that is M8068. All right, this was actually my favorite pattern, M8051. Something about the way that this hip looks here, I just like that look. It's a true pencil skirt look that I was looking for. I would be doing view D if I did this one here, and view D is actually this view here. It does require 1 7-inch zipper, 1 hook and eye. It does have 5 pieces, so that's a plus. It does include darts. Most of these actually include darts, and the finished garment measurements give me 2 inches of ease once I sew this up, and the length on this skirt actually fell right at a 20. So it's a little on the short side, I think, but it wouldn't be an issue trying to lengthen this this pattern if I decided to use it or do something with it. One thing I will say is all these patterns, as you can see, require a zipper, and they all have some type of dart, so I'm okay with that. So this pattern here, guys, in my other video, I told you guys I don't know what I was thinking when I looked at it, because the color of it just wasn't, I wasn't vibing with the color at all. I don't know if it's the way the model's wearing it, just something about it I wasn't feeling. I purchased it and didn't know why I purchased it. However, I had to go back to this pattern with an open mind, thinking about the different kinds of fabric choices, which really make a great difference, a huge difference in your garments. And I did pull to the lineup S9237. I did pull this to the lineup because I tried to think outside the box. I'm like, okay, this right here is not my cup of tea. However, if this was done in a different kind of fabric, it will probably be really, really, really nice. So I said, let me go ahead and check it out. So I would be doing view B if I did this skirt here, view B. And this does call for a 7-inch invisible zipper. As you all know, I've done some practice recently on some invisible zippers, and I have been quite impressed with how well they've turned out so far. It does include fusible interface. So I have to make sure I have interface on in my stash here. It has 5 pieces. It does include some darts. The length on this skirt would be 22 inches, which is probably just about where I want it to be in terms of the length. And the finished garment measurements give me about 3 inches of ease. And this is this view here. So based on all that you've heard, all that I have explained in terms of the notions, the different number of pieces, the garment measurements, I am really, really, really surprised to say that I am going to go ahead and go for S9237. This is the choice. I did not imagine I would want to make this, but again, I had to think outside the box a little bit. And the thing that really sold me on this was, it was 2 things. One, the pieces, 5 pieces. And also the invisible zipper. So I worked on invisible zippers last week, and I want to continue to beef up that skill. So I don't want to just practice and then not be able to actually use the technique and use the skill in an actual garment. So I think I want to go ahead and try it on an actual garment. And then again, the garment, the finished garment measurements, I mean, 3 inches of ease might be a lot, but I feel like if I try it on and it's a little big, I can always size it down some. I don't know that I'll size it down on the pattern. I'll probably size it, fit it once I try it on to see if I like the amount of ease I would be given in this pattern. And again, the length of this skirt was probably perfect at 22 inches. If it's too long, I can just fold it up and I can press the hem up just a little bit more to give me some shortened length on the skirt itself. So this is the choice. This is the choice. I am going to start working on this right away because I do want to keep my skills going. I don't want to stop this sewing thing I'm doing. I get in these spurts sometimes where I'm sewing, I'm not sewing, I'm sewing, I'm not sewing, but I do want to sew. So I will start this like in a week ahead, and I will be certain to let you all know how it is coming along. So this was the choice. Thank you for watching. God bless.